Hi everyone, welcome back to Gymnast Mindset Monday Live. I am Sherry Medini, and tonight we're going to be talking about the two biggest blocks to confidence. And I'm excited to dive into this topic. I was actually brushing up on this topic a little bit. I was watching the Winning Mindset founder, Gene Zanetti, put together a great video similar to this, and I think it absolutely applies to gymnastics. It applies to life in general. It's going to apply when you're out there searching for a job, whether you're trying to get into a good college or whether you're trying to succeed within your sport. And I want to talk about these things because we don't always realize why we're coming up short or why we're struggling with confidence. And a lot of times it's coming to down to these two core things that we're actually blocking ourselves there. But while I share this out, I want to make sure that you guys are following us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, because we have some really awesome things in the works. Things that I can't quite share with you yet, but things that I'm really excited about, and I'm excited to bring to you guys some partnerships, some new formats, some new options for you. And all in all, we try on a regular basis to bring you mindset content that's going to apply to you as a gymnast. So make sure you're following us across those platforms so you can stay up to date with us. We are at Gymnast Mindset, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We tried to keep it pretty simple for you. So let me share this over here. All right. And I'll have to do that in a minute. Okay, so let's dive in. So the first thing, one of the first biggest block to confidence that we see a lot of times in gymnasts and in athletes in general, and just kind of people in general, is getting confused with what confidence is. We associate confidence too often with cockiness or arrogance, and they're not synonymous. They aren't the same thing. They don't go hand in hand. This misconception can oftentimes hold gymnasts back from being confident because they don't want to be cocky. They don't want to be arrogant. Maybe they have someone in their life that is arrogant and might be cruel to other people or not fun to be around. And they think that if they get too confident, or if they, start to feel confident internally, that they're going to exude that outwardly too. And it's simply not the case, right? That confidence is not the same thing as arrogance. There is absolutely a difference there. And because confidence at its core has to do with you and yourself. And arrogance a lot of times has to do with you in comparison to other people. So confidence is, what do I believe I'm capable of, regardless of anybody else? But that arrogance is a hierarchical thing, that I'm better than you, I'm better than them, I'm better than everybody. And when you have that type of mindset, you start to, kind of there's enjoyment when somebody else fails. The extreme of it, of course, is if you're trying to bring other people down, you're trying to drag other people down. That's kind of the extreme of arrogance. But for confidence, you're not worried about other people. And we talk about this a lot in the program, because it's kind of human nature that we want other people, we need to know what other people think of us. It feels like we need to impress other people. We need to, put our best foot forward. And there's something in us that we are always striving for other people. And that's not where we want to be. You need to be doing things for yourself. You need to be worried about yourself. You need to be confident in and of yourself. So confidence is not, I'm better than you. That's not where we're coming from. You can be very confident and very humble at the same time. Confidence is thinking not, it's not I'm better than you. It's I'm capable of doing I'm capable of achieving my goals. I'm capable of doing what I set out to do. I'm capable of, it's more like I'm capable of winning today instead of I'm capable of beating you. Is maybe a little bit of that difference there. And this is absolutely true, like I said, whether it's gymnastics, whether it's school, whether it's career. You know, a lot of times we are put up against other people, and it can be tough. Maybe you're going up, you know, against a close teammate and a close friend to win that title or to make it onto the next stage of postseason. Maybe you're going up with somebody that you know or like or graduated college with, and you guys are going up and going for the same job together. And it's tough because you don't want to be in a position where you get enjoyment out of them losing. So again, that's not what this is about. You don't need to boast. You don't need to go out of your way. You don't need to knock other people down. So the other point to this is that the reason that we emphasize the cockiness versus the arrogance, another key piece of that is understanding that everyone has dignity. Everyone deserves respect. And we all have our different strengths. We talk about that plenty throughout the mindset program, that there's things that maybe we are stronger at than other people. But everyone deserves to be treated with that respect. And that's kind of where that confidence and that humbleness comes in. So one of the points for this and the homework for this piece of things is something that we do in the mindset program. There's a worksheet dedicated to this that we dive into and brainstorm and kind of go through with our mindset clients as well. But it's this difference between confidence and cockiness, similar to like what we've talked about before with the body language. What does confident body language look like? I want you to think of people that you think of as arrogant or cocky, and write down what it is about them. What do they do? What do they say? How do they carry themselves? What is it about them that makes you think that they're arrogant? What is it that makes you want to go in the other direction? And then similarly, what are the differences that are confidence instead? And really, you know, pen to paper, if you're on your computer or on your phone or whatever, but make sure that you're writing this down. Don't just brainstorm it. There's something about writing things down that it really sinks in a little bit deeper, that you can dive deeper into the exercise. So go ahead and make sure that you do that. So differences between confidence and cockiness. Then the second thing, so the two biggest blocks to confidence is that first one is confusing what confidence actually is. And then the second one is believing deep down that you don't deserve your goal. That deep down you are feeling unworthy. And sometimes this can be conscious, sometimes this can be unconscious. But a lot of times that self-sabotage starts to sneak in. Maybe this is, you know, what does this look like for gymnastics? You know, there's a gymnast that like trains really hard and she's giving 110% at practice, and she goes out there and she starts competing pretty strong, and she gets a taste of success. She gets a taste of what this might look like for her. And whether it's a conscious thing or an unconscious thing, it's usually an unconscious thing. It's usually not something we do purposefully, but I've seen those gymnasts then start to hold back, that they start to get cautious, that they start to make silly mistakes, that they start to, you know, self-sabotage themselves. And like I said, it's not like in that moment they're having that thought of like, oh, I might actually win this thing, I better screw up quick. It's not that. It's, you know, one of those weird brain things again, where we start to unconsciously mess ourselves up. So, you know, that's just one of the ways. I do want you to think, if you feel like you're seeing this some within yourself, that you're checking and seeing, how is this coming out for me? But beyond that, take that time to reflect. Take that time to look at yourself and say, you know, deep down, do I truly believe that I deserve my goal? That I deserve success? And, you know, do I truly believe that I've earned the right to win? That I'm capable of getting the job done? That I'm not just saying this is my goal to say it, but that I genuinely believe it? And, you know, a lot of people are afraid of success, and it might kind of ebb and flow, and maybe you're afraid of success in one area and not another. And again, this is life, this is academics, this is sport. It's one of those things that absolutely carries throughout. And I'm assuming as of this far that more than likely most of you are saying, I'm not afraid of success. Why would I be training this many hours a week if I didn't want to succeed? Why would I be putting in this much effort? Like, of course I want success, right? But then what I'm going to ask is not if you are afraid of success, but what parts of success might you be afraid of? And this is where it gets a little bit different, because I hear, when we're doing our mindset session, something that comes up is if I succeed, if I start winning, if I start doing well, if I start being really consistent and dominating out there, people are going to expect more of me. That I can no longer mess up. That the pressure's on, that the pressure's higher. That if I win this meet, then everyone thinks I'm going to be able to do that same thing. If I get my high score, I'm always going to be compared to that high score. People are going to take notice. People are going to talk about me. There's going to be more pressure. And it's all of those kind of things. And I feel like those points are things that are a lot more universal. That now you might be thinking, okay, yeah, maybe on some level I'm afraid of success. And not afraid of success as a whole necessarily, but there are always pieces to that feel uncomfortable, that don't feel great, that we worry about. And we need to be addressing those, because it's easier to, once we get that success, we can work through those things. But we can also work through those things now to help us get to that success point sooner. We can start to address that and start to cope with that. Like, well, if other people are expecting more of me, how do I handle that? How can I understand that I'm still competing for me? How can I cope with that before I get to that point? And if you start addressing these fears, you will start to be more successful naturally. So if you have negative things associated with success, you are going to unconsciously sabotage yourself. It is important. The other piece of this is it's important to not just do this mental work. We would all love to kind of use The Secret and think our way there and, manifest our goals. And the positive thinking thing, 100% wonderful. It's great stuff, but we do have to do the hard work. We do have to work hard in and out of the gym. And one, because it's going to get the skill set and build the knowledge and whatever, but it's also going to give you that core, and you will know that you deserve this. It will start to build in you that, you have earned this so far. So you're not just getting lucky and you're not just second guessing yourself, and you're not, thinking, well, that, I didn't actually earn that success. I don't deserve this success. So you do have to do the groundwork. You do have to make sure that, you're doing all of those pieces, that you are doing well in school and you're studying when you need to be and you're doing what you need to do, that you're upholding your boundaries and, staying true to who you are and what morals you have and all of that, that you're staying, you're spending the time with family and you're being there for friends and whatever is important to you and kind of those life in general kind of areas, that you're focusing on rest and recovery and sleep and strength training and nutrition and mindset, of course. And you have all of those things in place. And yeah, we're never going to be perfect. Absolutely. We're always going to be slipping up in one area or another. We're never going to be perfect all of the time. But it is important to be striving for that. Because if you can turn around and look at it from a rational kind of perspective and notice that I put in a lot of hours in the gym, I'm resting in my downtime when I need to, I'm a good friend, I'm a good daughter, I get good grades in school, that I'm focusing on my goal, I'm working towards my goal, in a lot of different capacities and I'm doing things well, then it starts to feel easier to believe that you deserve the success that's coming your way. It's well earned, it's not luck. So what I want you to do for this piece of things is to write down 5 to 10 reasons that you deserve your goal. So, we need to know what your goal is, obviously, but what are 5 to 10 things that you uniquely, that, maybe it's not the same as what anybody else is. Some of it can be that, like, I work hard or I put in the hours or whatever, but what's unique to you as well? Maybe it's, I throw bigger skills. I deserve to win because I have more difficulty. Or maybe it's, I deserve to win because I put extra time and effort into my form and everything I do is clean and pretty and deduction free. Maybe it's you're a very powerful gymnast, or maybe you're a great twister, or maybe you're really flexible, or whatever it is. And then include some of those other pieces that, yeah, you do work hard and you're dedicated to growth, or you have a great attitude every time you go into the gym, or, whatever it might be. Do those, write down those reasons, because the prep has to be there. The prep has to be there to be able to build confidence, and the prep has to be there to help you believe that you deserve your goals. So the exercises that we mentioned throughout, first of all, so those 2 biggest blocks to confidence. One was getting confused with what confidence is, that confidence is not the same as arrogance, and trying to differentiate the two. And then number 2, deep down believing that you deserve your goal. You deserve the success that's coming to you. So the exercises that I want you to do, and like I said, grab a pen, grab a scrap piece of paper, or grab the notes app on your phone or whatever, but write these down. Get them down, get them out of your head, get them visible, and really take some time to brainstorm through these things. If you want to take, maybe do one of each of these next 3 days here. But the first one was to write down the differences between confidence and cockiness, that identifying what that looks like, what that feels like, what do arrogant people say, what do arrogant people do, what do confident people say, what do confident people do, what's their mentality, what's their mindset, and establishing the differences. That way you can feel confident and also be very secure in knowing that you are not cocky, that you can look at your list and, go through those checkpoints and kind of check yourself and say, am I being arrogant? And the answer maybe sometimes will be yes. And it's good to have that feedback, and it's good to understand where you might need to step back in that regard. The second exercise that I want you to do is to write down any negative links that you have to success. And like I said, those things might be, if I succeed, people are going to be watching. People are going to expect more of me. I can never go backwards now. I could never have a bad day. I can never make a mistake. If I make a mistake, it's going to be a big deal. And kind of those kind of situations. So dive deep there, and try to think what might come up for you there. Same thing. You don't have to share this stuff with anybody. This is your own brainstorming session. So you can be very transparent. You can write down whatever. Nobody's judging what you wrote down. Nobody's questioning what you wrote down. Just get it down on paper. And then same thing, 5 to 10 reasons that you deserve your goal. Things that are unique to you. What are your unique strengths? What are you doing to that, the next logical step is your success. And that's the goal here. The goal is to build these building blocks, that we continue on, that you're putting in the work, that you're working with a plan, that you're striving for these goals. And the only next logical step is to achieve that goal. That's the end game. It's, not something that just happens magically. We got to work to get there. So that was the topic of the night. I saved my little spiel for the end here. But if you did stick around, I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, we do have some good stuff in the works, so stay tuned to make sure you're getting updates and notifications and other helpful stuff. You can like the Gymnast Mindset Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/Gymnast Mindset. We are Gymnast Mindset on Twitter and Gymnast Mindset on Instagram. And also a little bit more about the program itself. We are a gymnastics-specific mindset training program. We work with individuals and teams, and we help gymnasts in areas like confidence, relaxing under pressure, mental toughness, sleep, self-knowledge, clarity. The list goes on and on. But it is not therapy. It is not motivational speaking. It's strength training for your mind. And we think about it in that way, that it's very purposeful, and that we do these mindset exercises, that we practice these things, that we train our brains to make sure that they're working properly for us when we need them most. And we work with gymnasts so that they can be successful in and out of the gym. We understand that these are well-rounded athletes. These are girls that are going to be going on and living full adult lives, and we want to make sure that yes, they reach their gymnastics goals, but they're also prepared for all of those life things that they have to come, that they're learning these life lessons, well ahead of when I learned them. We didn't have Gymnast Mindset back when I was doing gymnastics, and while I learned a lot of great things throughout the sport and throughout my career, there were a lot of pieces that were missing here that I'm kind of seeing in a different light, and a lot of these girls are getting off to a great start in both gymnastics and in life thanks to this. So also, if you know a gymnast or a coach or someone who, might be struggling with mindset things or just wants to get that extra leg up, feel free to share this video with them or share information with them. You can find more resources on our website, gymnastmindset.com. We even offer a free trial session for anybody that's interested, a phone call where we can kind of go through some things that are going on for you and hopefully give you a couple good tips to help you throughout, gymnastics and all that, just to get a feel for what it's like. But all that being said, I hope you all have a great week. Happy Monday. Thank you all for watching, and I will be back next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Gymnast Mindset Monday Live. And until then, see ya.